What's up, everyone? Welcome to the All Fundies League, streamed by Project M Nexus and Clash Tournaments, which is also the other stream that's going to be happening today. I'm Saber, and I'm here with Che to kick off Pool 1 for the All Fundies League.
Welcome, guys. We're excited to see you. We definitely got a whole bunch of hype, super stacked bracket matches. Actually, Swiss matches for you today. There's definitely going to be no shortage of crazy PM for you guys to watch today. So stay tuned.
Yeah, for those unfamiliar with the format, the All Fundies League is 16 players from across the East Coast. They're split up into two 8-man pools that are going to be running 3 rounds of Swiss each. So today we're going to be seeing one of those pools split again across the 2 streams. The top 4 players from today will play the top 4 from Pool 2, which is going to be streamed in 2 weeks, in a top 8 bracket. The bottom 4 from each pool will also play in another 8-man bracket. So today we're going to be getting 3 rounds of all best of 5 sets from some of the East Coast best.
It's gonna be hype. And I think up first we have Stango versus Kuma?
Yeah, up first we have Stango versus Kumatora. So Stango has been taking the scene by storm. He's, for those unfamiliar, he's a melee player traditionally who has been playing PM on the side for quite some time, and then really over the last year has started playing much more consistently and entering events and just been dominating on the East Coast. So he is actually the first seed of this event over players like Malachi and Switch. He's very, very good with an awful lot of characters.
Yeah, he's already won. What was it? He's already won 2 salty spittoons with 2 different characters. He's kind of the reigning champ of the East Coast right now. We haven't seen the likes of Malachi. Who else is in this bracket? Envy. Some of the other names you might know from the East Coast, who kind of dominated in the past. But Stango is definitely the Cinderella story right now. So he's going to be someone to watch for sure.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see Stango versus some of these bigger names because we've seen Stango entering a lot of stuff, but a lot of the top East Coast players haven't really been big on net play brackets. So we haven't seen like Malachi or Switch or Envy. We haven't seen a lot of the top NYNJ players in quite some time. So I'm really excited to see how he does against that truly top echelon that the East Coast has to offer. Yeah. And then Kumatora is also absolutely no slouch. She's the number 1 player from Massachusetts and was on a tear this year. I guess now last year prior to COVID, and continued to have a great year online. So I'm really excited to see what she can do.
Yeah, I think so. Kuma's like almost 2 years running, but we say 2 years of being number 1 in the COVID era. So grain of salt, but I mean she's been dominating that region for a while, longer than that, right?
Maybe it's been quite a while, and even before COVID, she was still clearly number 1 in the region, even over players like Twisty and Flarp and Silver and Moto. She's an extremely strong Nest player. So she could pull some huge upsets in this bracket, and I wouldn't be shocked at all. Very technical, very aggressiveness. So lots of fun to watch. Okay, yeah. So I think we're gonna get into this in a minute. Shay, who are you thinking Stango's gonna go? Because we've seen him play a lot of characters so far in net play events. What do you want to see?
See, I kind of want to see the Ike, just because I'm an Ike player myself, and I kind of want to see a return. It had Stango sweating a little bit the last salty spittoon against Rungunshu, but no one else seemed to put really a dent in it. I don't think he dropped any games in the salty spittoon bracket that he went Ike.
No, not until Grant. He destroyed Morse code with Ike too, which is pretty impressive. So
yeah.
So for sure. Yeah.
I've also heard rumors of Stango Ivy, so I think you might be.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
I've heard about the Ivy. I saw it in pools, so I would be interested to see that as well. But I've seen him play those characters. We've seen Bowser, Fox, Morph, Zero Suit. Dude's got an arsenal. So
if you saw that Nog bracket at FPS, I think there's a chance we might see something similar where he just goes through the CSS and says, I think I'll go that one.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely kind of in that similar vein. So let's see what he picks to set against Kumatora, though, because Ness traditionally not considered the best character, so I'd imagine most of his quote unquote mains would do pretty well in this matchup. I'm interested to see who he goes.
Yeah, we'll find out in a second here. I think we're gonna go right into it.
Yep. Okay, so we're starting on Battlefield, and Stango's going Fox, which is his traditional. This was like his PM main when he first started playing PM. He's done a lot of good stuff with this character. Beaten DVD a lot, taking Kais for game 5, so.
And the melee
definitely solid.
Right?
No, he's actually a melee Marth main, but he plays Fox in PM, which is kind of a typical melee player. A lot of them like to play Fox in this game. It's a little bit easier on the hands. And already, I mean, his tech skill looks immaculate. He's just kind of doing spacey things, but I'm a little bit surprised to see that we're starting on Battlefield. I feel like Ness would want a flatter stage where punishing is a little bit easier, but maybe the idea is just more room to kind of work with and maneuver around Fox. I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't get the chance to see what the bans were for and who banned first, but interesting pick. Yeah. There's a lot of room for Fox to play with his levels here, and I think that's going to be an issue when you're trying to put that PK fire out, where he can hide underneath the platforms and stuff and make it not really too threatening an option like that.
Yeah, and we saw already. There was like a 10-second stretch in the first minute of this game where Stango just stood on the platform and didn't come down, and Kumatora didn't really seem to have an answer for it. So she is still alive, but. Oh, great edge cancel. Stango just doesn't cover it, but he gets that back air, no problem. Even gets the first stock.
Yeah, pretty cleanly too, 65%. I mean, spaces are generally kind of fragile, but that wasn't too much. I felt like he was mostly getting stray hits of damage and nothing really too big.
Yeah, Anna hasn't really been able to open him up yet. So Kumatori's going to be looking for those bigger punishes, ideally off a grab or down air if she can get it. But right now, like he said, she's just been getting those stray hits, and you can't play that game against Fox. He just has better moves, better frame data. He wins the scrap game.
Stango's his positional play is just so good. Like,
yeah, doing an excellent job of just keeping her from one corner to the other, but never giving Ness center stage.
Yeah,
it's just very polished edge guarding.
Nothing too crazy on the punish, just good play.
Shine Spike to center left stage, gets the drill and then the shine. Still not death.
Saved by the PK Thunder. That was actually crazy.
Wow. And you can see that, I mean, that is, any one of those shines in Melee would have done it. But in PM, where Shine doesn't have set knockback, all it does is keep Ness off stage, and then eventually Stango did drop that edge guard. But still, he got on so much damage, and basically he's up a full stock, even though he's about to drop this one.
Straight back air, up smash, nair. Any one of these moves can really just...
Yeah, we'd be better off naming moves that wouldn't kill at 150 with Fox. So, up a clean stock now. So far, Stango looking great. He's just playing the positional game, and every time he's hitting Ness, he's getting so much damage and so much positioning for it. And I like the way that Kumatora is trying to control the center, but it's not really working with these plats. Stango's just dancing around her.
You know, something that just dawned on me, I wonder if, I know Foxes like to use, beyond just racking up damage, Foxes like to use that the laser to set the stale Q, just so that they can get a little bit extra, squeeze a little extra juice out of the up smash, the nairs, etc. I wonder if they get absorbed, does that actually count as, you know, hitting? Is that resetting your moves there?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know, but if it does, that would be interesting. And either way, I mean, I think for Stango, it's not that big of a deal if those lasers do get absorbed, because they do such little damage. Great Shine Spike. That time he was able to send it under the stage, so even though the distance isn't that bad, that guy still get the job done. But yeah, I have no idea about the scaling. That's actually a really interesting idea for this matchup.
It is there. Okay, this is where you get your big spacey punishes. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, and he misses the tech, and yep, that's the next classic. You miss one tech, and all of a sudden you're at death reset.
It's over.
So that's the first big punish we've really seen out of Kumatora, though, and we're going to need to see a lot more of those if she's going to make this a competitive set.
Yeah, she's looking a little bit lost right now. She's just trying to throw stuff out, but I say that, and
all of a sudden, she's kind of starting to wake up. Gets the up throw forward, and nothing else you can really get there, and then, yeah. But still, I mean, that was a 0-70. All it takes is another one of those, and this is a last stock game.
Don't sleep.
Yeah, it's still Ness punish game, and Stango is still playing Fox, so anything's on the table, despite how rough the start of this game was. And now we can see, I mean, Stango is clearly taking this a little more seriously, and just back to those flats.
He's playing with his levels. His levels vertically, it's really hard for Ness to do anything, especially with that slow double jump. Like, what's he going to do when he's up there?
No, exactly, yeah, and it's not, I mean, Fox is so fast, it's not even, like, if I'm a slower character and I'm flat camping Ness, they can maybe threaten with, like, up B or something. Can't do that against Fox. But slowly, Anna has been bringing this back, so all it takes is one hit. Gets the jab reset, doesn't buffer an option out. Double up air. Okay, back air.
Oh, back air.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
That'll cost you.
Yeah, and Stango does take game one. I'm not really sure what that... I'm surprised that she went kind of straight to stage on that up B, instead of going either to ledge or if the edge cancel off the plat, but maybe just trying to catch him off guard.
Both players hydrating. Stay hydrated out there.
Okay, so I'm hoping here that we're going to see Kumatora go to a stage that gives Stango fewer plats to work with. Green Hill, I think, would be a great pick, yeah. Like I said, I don't really know what the banning was to get to Battlefield, but obviously the plats were really beneficial to Fox, so let's see what she can do without them getting in the way of the punish game, and more importantly, without giving him a place to escape in neutral. Oh my god, that forward throw. That forward throw is some of the highest space knockback of any throw in PM. If you die it wrong, you can just die at 0 on a small side blast out. And oh my god, this punish.
Wow. Just
Kumatora, that was such a clean punish because Stango was doing the correct defensive options and he was stopping her from getting the kill, and she just kept picking up and keeping it going and getting a little more damage off every interaction.
Yeah, it looked like every time it looked like he was about to fall through the cracks. She just kept on him.
Yeah, she kept picking it up, but problem is now you need to find a way to kill. And oh my god, that up air was such a good move choice. I think I was expecting pretty much any other aerial out of shield instead of up air. I've never seen an S do that.
Was it an up air? I thought it was a dare.
No, that was an up air.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen Ness do that. Okay, so Stango does clean it up, but already this is looking so much better for Kumatora than the beginning of game 1 did.
There's nowhere to go. In neutral, it's a lot more smothering. And actually, in a lot of ways, Ness has a bigger advantage with being able to change levels here, just because that double jump cancel, fading in, fading out, is actually much more relevant a threat here.
Oh, totally, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can see, I mean, look how comfortable Kumatora is in the center stage with the double jump cancels and playing with Magnet. This is a way for Ness to really threaten comfortably without Stango having the opportunity to escape platforms. But still, that punish game is going to be brutal if you drop an opening. Stango's taking advantage.
Man, these guys
They're just going at it.
for real, yeah.
Yeah, this is what a set to kick it off with. These two are just running at each other, and it's very entertaining. Good shield pressure from Stango. I don't know what exactly led to that short hop up there, but either way, he's just racking on damage. He's basically at death percent if Kumatora can get a grab or a down air, or just straight back air. But either way, solid lead. Another edge guard spot.
Ooh, actually double jumps into that.
Yeah, and that was unfortunate.
Yeah, she actually
up there.
saw the eye roll on that one. She was like, yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, that was definitely the, like, I could have gotten out of that in multiple ways, but here we are, and, oh, this could be it. Oh my god, he got it.
Another drill.
Yeah. And if you look at Stango in that player cam, no reaction to that kill. Stone cold. Yeah, I mean, Nest
Another
down
big
there,
deal.
not a lot of options you got. And okay, we're gonna see Metal Cavern this time. So more plats than Green Hill, obviously, which is kind of as few as you can get with what Stango banned. But hopefully, the fact that it's only the one big plat is at least going to limit Stango and force him to interact on that one horizontal plane underneath that plat. So maybe that's the goal here.
I did think that the platforms were kind of helpful in Kumatora's Punish game, like way back in that Battlefield set. Like once you started to get going, it didn't look like there was anywhere to go, anywhere to run for Stango. But
yeah, because she was daring onto those tiny platforms, and if he missed the tech, there was nowhere to go. It would be very easy for her to follow up with a jab reset or another down air. I think that was kind of the big thing she got out of it, but she just wasn't getting enough of those openings to make it worth it.
You know, it's crazy how Stango's doing this with Butcher Fox.
Yeah, Fox, bottom 5 in the game, and Stango's out here putting in work. Maybe one day he'll prove that Fox is a mid-tier.
Low tier mains, rise up, please.
Yeah. But this is brutal. I mean, Stango, it's no surprise he's coming out the gate swinging for this tournament, but just such an impressive showing for someone who, a year ago, 2 years ago, was a melee player who kind of played PM on the side, and he's showing that he's so much more than that over the last few months.
Yeah, people in New York were saying Stango's probably one of the best in the world. He's probably top 10 potential, but I mean, obviously he didn't have any results backing that up, especially when the one or two events he did show up at kind of got a little cheese and out of bracket a little early. But I mean, now we're seeing awakened Stango.
Yeah, and I mean, I think also just the fact that now he has this character pool that's more than Fox goes a long way too, because it means that he's less likely to get, cheesed to, if he finds himself losing to someone who is largely just benefiting off edge goads and stuff like that, he can go a character that's a little bit more consistent as opposed to being stuck on Fox. But
he's got his own cheese. He's got his own little stuff to throw back.
For right now, no need for counter picks. The Fox is looking great here in Game 3. He's going to drop that one, but he needs one more stock, and with the punish game and the edge guarding we've seen, it could just be one opening that ends the set for Kumatora.
Yeah, in Salty Splatoon, Stango didn't drop us a game for up until I think it was Grands.
Up until Grands, yeah. He's entered a variety of net play tournaments. I think I've seen him drop one set total, which was to Morse, who he then proceeded to destroy in Grands and at the next tournament.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very solid. Also, very good at adapting, like I said. I mean, even the people who have taken sets in games in the past, he does great against in future sets. I don't know if these two have actually played before, but
they were both in both brackets of Salty Splatoon.
Yeah. I just don't know if Kumakura made it to him in winners. Obviously, Stango wasn't in losers. But I mean, this is doable. Yeah, I mean, pressing a lot of buttons, but you kind of need to hit him, unfortunately. Air dodge is kind of the only option, though, when you're that close to the stage, because Fox can just short hop back, or ledge hop back air if you see that up B come out, but unfortunately, that same option also works when they air dodge, so Stango kind of had all options covered on that one.
That was a super clean 3-0. That was rough, man. That was a poor kid out there got mauled by a Fox.
Yeah. If there's anybody who's watching this who kind of hasn't been following PM and you're like, wait, Stango plays now? That might have been your wake-up call. He plays, and he's really, really good. So that's going to be a 3-0 for the first set of round 1. The next set that we're going to have is we're going to see Twisty versus Aspastic. So Twisty is another player from Massachusetts, but a little bit less active on net play. He hasn't really been entering much. But perennial top 20 player, always one of the best warriors in the world. So I'm really excited to see how he does against Aspastic, who has been entering a lot of stuff and doing pretty well recently.
I think the first time that I saw Stango, and maybe since quarantine started, was at Salty Splatoon 2 weeks ago. So, and he got what, 5th, I want to say?
Got 5th to Kip, yeah.
Yeah. Kipcom made a crazy run, a reverse 2-0 or reverse 3-0
Yeah,
So,
reverse sweep, and then he beat Rangunchu at that tournament. Huge run for him. Definitely some of his best wins I think ever. So huge props to him. But yeah, we haven't really been seeing a whole lot of Twisties. So I'm hoping that he's in practice and has kind of been de-rusting, which may have been why he entered Salty Splatoon. But we'll see. And like I said, his opponent Aspastic has been on the grind for all of quarantine. So definitely not going to be a slouch in this set. And he's going to be potentially another Ness on this stream. So he plays both Ness and Mario, depending on the matchup. I don't know who he's going to be going here. It is going to be Ness. Okay. So we're going to be seeing Ness, Wario, and there's going to be no matchup experience here, obviously. They're both from New England. Twisty also plays with Kumatora a lot, and Aspastic is close enough to plenty of Twisty practice over the years.
is Astastic CT? I forget.
Yes,
I know he's not. Okay, yeah, I know he's not a regular at the Massachusetts SG Weeklies, but I know they like playing a lot.
Yeah, I also it took me 30 seconds to realize that this wasn't hand warmers because they were just doing stuff at the beginning, and it looked like they were just warming up.
Twisty, I've all the Twisty sets that I've seen, he does that. He's just like staring in the corner. And I'm like, are you?
And then like Ness neutral too. It's like Ness neutral kind of looks like hand warmers when you're not right next to them. But
buttons, man.
Yeah, so far pretty even. Twisty's had a slight advantage, and then once he traps him on that platform, it's pretty easy for him to get that up air follow up. But Aspastic's keeping it close so far. Yeah, there we go. But Twisty has Waft is going to be pretty much on deck for this stock, so he's in a good spot to pull a strong combo here if he gets his opening. And Ness is a great way for Wario to combo. Oh, interesting. He ended with the up B. I don't see that very often.
I got scared when he got bit on the platform like that.
Yeah, that has the potential to be so brutal if you catch him on the DI mix-up, especially when the Wario is Waft. But even something else like side B or up there is scary. And I mean, Twisty took that stock so quickly. That was, I think, 2 neutral interactions into just the stock being done. Starting to fire back, gets 50 damage off that, and then gets stuck on the flag.
Ooh, can he get anything after that? No.
Oh
my
and
God.
lifted too far, yeah.
Yo,
You see him in the play again. Yeah, that's rough. Like he was so focused on trying to follow Twisty and chase him up there. He just wasn't paying attention to where he fell afterwards. So this would be pretty much an even game, but he can still bring this back. We've seen him displaying a pretty strong punish game so far. Let's see what he's got.
He's in the corner, man. Oh, I don't like none of this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right as I said that, Twisty grabbed him and downed him in the corner, which is not where you want to be.
This bite, he's right on point.
Yeah. So far, Aspastic's gotten pretty good DI on them. He hasn't really gotten caught with anything too cheesy, but it is just such a strong command grab. And that was a bit of a greedy down there. He's not going to die directly for it, but that definitely could have been death. Awful DI from Twisty, but he still makes that back.
Got
and this
some
is
good horizontal reach on that up B. I was actually a little surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't go that high vertically, but it's Wario's horizontal drift, so it goes pretty far to the sides when you do max drift. And right now, this is so hard for Aspastic, because not only does he need to get this kill, which is already not happening, but he would have needed to take another stock with Waft on deck.
Yeah.
Twisty goes up a game, but given that SD at 0, Aspastic is still very much competitive in this set. If that didn't happen, we could have been looking at a very different outcome for this game.
Alright.
But
Twisty deep in thought.
yeah, he's thinking. I like that he's so far the only person we've had who didn't bother to do a player cam. We just got, based on the carpeting, I think this is a picture from Smash and Splash.
Yeah, that's definitely a Smash and Splash picture. My man went to Cali Hori for All Fundies League.
Mm-hmm. Wish I could join him. Definitely a little jealous. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna see. He's staying. Aspastic's staying Nest so far, and the bans here are interesting. From okay, well, this probably means the Mario.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a switch here.
Interesting. I wonder what stage he's going to take him to with Mario. I'd imagine he wants something flat-ish, but FD and Metal Cavern were both banned.
We got Green Hill Zone.
Yeah, we got Green Hill. I wouldn't be shocked if we see that. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I would imagine Mario's gonna have an easier time in neutral, because you can throw those fireballs and you can just space out Wario much better. But still going to be a difficult mountain to climb for Aspastic. And Twisty's still pretty familiar with this matchup from Stocks and Gallo and all the various Switch Marios.
If I remember right, Gallo used to give Twisty some trouble though.
He did, but that was admittedly when Twisty was kind of still on the come up and not quite at the level he is now. So it's been a few years, and Twisty's also beaten the Doctor I think twice. 2 or 3 times. So he's got some good wins in this matchup. He's solid. But the nice thing that you do get from Mario is you get a very consistent combo game. That one grab led into so much damage already. Great up B.
Sure, you get out of there.
Yeah, and that does have some iframes, so Twisty's combos aren't true. Oh my god.
Man! Yo, that F smash is so fast, and you really get caught. It's kind of like, I feel like the situations where you get an F smashed is similar to, like, think like a Roy early F smash where you're trying to just not get comboed and then all of a sudden you're dead.
Yeah, it's just like this. It's just the mix up. It's kind of the mix up smash tech where it's like he doesn't really end combos with it normally. It's what you do to catch people slipping on their DI, and it worked perfectly there. This should be death. Yep, down throw for it. Shout out to Parker Boy.
The classic.
Already getting grabbed again, and Twisty's getting some pretty good damage off this. I think maybe one or two more hits, and then Aspastic is at kill percent with that waft. So they need to play this super careful. Ooh, scary position on that flat. He's getting back thrown all the way to the edge.
Man!
Yeah. Twisty didn't get the right side of the waft, but didn't matter. Aspastic missed that tech. And still going to drop the stock for it. And already at 60 again. Twisty's punch game is working so good. For, again, someone who hasn't really been playing much in quarantine, at least, in bracket. But it's looking great right now.
Yeah, Aztastic was in a little lost. I mean, he's been getting some sick combos, but it really doesn't end very well. He kind of ends with whiffing an attack, and then that usually puts him in disadvantaged state because Twisty's ready for the punish.
Yeah, Twisty's just finishing his food a lot better. They're both hitting each other pretty hard, but Aspastic is really struggling to close out these stops. And I think the hope was that Mario would help him do that because Mario does have so many kill confirms and forward air, but so far he's been struggling to get them. And the exact same setup. He's gotta start teching those walks if Twisty's gonna edge guard him like that.
He's looking for the exact position where he's like, all right, this is where he tends to up B, and I'm just gonna meet him there and beat out the iframes until the move even comes out.
Yeah, and that up B is so hard to challenge. Like that, Twisty's making it look easy, but that move is deceptively difficult to actually intercept directly, and Twisty's doing a great job of it.
Unfortunate SD evens it up, but we still got hella momentum on Twisty's side. And another edge guard situation.
Interesting Tomahawk. I thought he was just going to back him off, but he gets a little bit more knockback off the forward throw. And just try to keep him in the corner. Quick grab.
Twisty's on point with the... I said that and he whiffed it, but
yeah,
he's on points with the grabs, Tomahawks. He's been doing really well with those.
Yeah. This isn't going to be it, but I think Twisty, a grab now, this might be it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Holy cow.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the karma for game one, right? I mean, Aspastic killed himself at 0 game 1. Twisty killed himself pretty early game 2, and all of a sudden, we got a 1-1 set. So, I mean, Twisty's going to stay. He doesn't really have other characters that he could pull out for something like this. So I think we've found the matchup we're probably going to see for the rest of this set, and I'm interested to see where Aspastic bans. I would imagine
he looked stressed for that last. He reeled back that last game as soon as he won.
Oh yeah, I would.
Spend
I
a little
mean,
bit.
he was down that whole game and then kind of clawed it back after that really critical suicide from Twisty. So definitely really close, and not by any means guaranteed that he's going to continue to do well with Mario, but hopefully a better pick than the Nest going into this game 3. I think Battlefield is a little bit scary for him because not only does it give Twisty these plats to combo on, but it also is going to let him tech out of things like down throw forward air in some situations. So, might make it even harder for him to get these kills. Oh my god, he ran into that grab and got grabbed from behind.
It could happen to you. Yes. grab hitboxes on Wario or that just the bite hitboxes combined with the drift. Like the hitbox itself isn't too crazy. The fact that he can just drift into the right spot from
Yeah, it's the fact that it's attached to a character with better aerial mobility than Puff. That's when it gets egregious. Yeah, Twisty closes that one out. So far, I mean, they're trading neutral pretty well. It's just Twisty's getting a little bit more damage off each hit. But this is still close enough that Astastic could definitely make the adaptation necessary to close out the stock and bring it back. Oh, he misses the tech chase on that plat. That could have been a regrab, I'm pretty sure.
Seen, trying to throw pokes out, see what happens. Oh, again!
Yeah, good. I mean, again, good DI from Astastic on the bite. He's been on point with that, but Twisty follows him anyways and does link into the waft no matter what.
Flip a coin.
Yeah. It's so scary when you get hit by Wario, and it's just like, you just pick it a direction and hold it for your life. There's nothing you can do other than hope.
Another thing I didn't think about, that he can drift after he's gotten you grabbed and put you in an even worse position than you started off with.
Yeah, he can continue drifting with you in his mouth and bring you even closer to the ledge, which is usually what he'll opt to do.
That shield!
I've never seen a shield break with Wario, and I thought I was about to. That was some scary pressure from Twisty, and he's still got Astastic in the corner.
I was almost expecting that dare to poke or something. It was so tiny.
Yeah, I was shocked at that none of that managed to shield poke. But God, Twisty with these side plats is so scary. Like the way that he's spacing himself on them and then just coming down with back air is so difficult for Mario's stubby limbs to challenge. He's just showing it off perfectly right now why he's one of the best players in New England.
Yeah.
And generally considered one of the higher seeds in this tournament.
No!
Unfortunate. Yeah, he was trying to up the out, which we've seen him do a few times, and he just didn't quite get the right side. Maybe he was mashing a little too hard.
Stone face. Doesn't even care.
Yeah. Okay, same band. Let's see, I mean, so obviously, flatter stages are ideal here. He's already won on Smashville. He's probably going to want something like either Green Hill or PS2, depending on how much room he wants. I've seen Mario's also go to Wario Land, but that's obviously a gamble. If you get wafted on that stage, you're dead no matter what percent you're at. So, let's see, he's thinking.
I really don't like those platforms. The way Twisty was using them just seemed really overwhelming.
Yeah, he was hovering over Fod for a second. I was like, that would be a bold pick against Twisty. But I think Green Hill makes a little more sense here. He's going to get rid of those flats, just like we saw with Kumatora trying to do the same against Stango, and hopefully get a better chance to even up the punish game without any flats for Twisty to escape to.
Up tilt. Interesting.
Yeah, Twisty's been doing a lot of up tilt. Which is a really strong anti-air, and it combos pretty well. It's just not a common move for Wario's because it's one of his slower ones. And for characters with such a good frame data, you kind of don't really need to up tilt that much.
If I remember right, all like Wario's hands are completely like you can't. They don't actually have hurt boxes, so it's
Wario's hands are basically swords in terms of how they're treated by the game. There are some great clips out there of that coming into play, but yeah, they are very disjointed, and up tilt is no exception. So far, I mean, Twisty's just another day in the office. After that SD, he's kind of showing that SD was what cost him game 2, and if he doesn't kill himself, he's looking great. As Fastic's looking a lot better, he's able to get that stock. And I think the big thing here in this matchup really is his ability to close out stocks. He's able to get neutral wins and get damage, but he hasn't been able to kill Twisty in the same way Twisty's been killing him.
In fact, now you mention it, I haven't seen him get as many grabs as I feel like. I mean, you really need to get grabs to get the kill. He's not like a fast faller, so after a certain percent, your moves aren't really going to link as well as you need them to. And Twisty's the only one really grappling out here, you know?
Yeah, which is, I mean, crazy because, we got one there and I got a little greedy with the pummels, but he not only does he have the down throw forward air, but also Mario's back throw got buffed in P+, so it is now tilt throw at kind of the percents where down throw fair doesn't link. And obviously that down tilt's still a great combo setup, so no shortage of combo tools into forward air for Mario. You just gotta find them, and then he just gets raw wafted. Twisty just kind of calling him out and saying, you know, I'm at such a low percent, I'm taking almost no knockback from this update. Might as well just put in the waft now and take the stock. But this combo game is looking way better for Fastic right now. Now he's back to kill percent basically.
You think it's just the stage change, or you think he's actually just gotten a better feel on how to actually combo Twisty here?
I think it's probably a combination of both, but I think the stage is definitely helping. There are a lot of situations where he's getting like down throw and then a bunch of up airs where Twisty would be able to tech after maybe the first or second up air on Battlefield, for example. I think that's helping quite a lot on racking up damage. But he's still finding these kills really well, and he's, I think, making some really critical adaptations in neutral to call out Twisty.
Yeah.
I think that's not work. Wow, another waft. So, Twisty probably not going to have one on deck for this last stock, but he might not need it.
2 waft killed so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man,
just barely. Wave dash back. Not even doing the PM player thing, which is when you just CC it. He doesn't want that damage. He's willing to wait out Twisty right now, but Twisty finally found his opening.
Almost chooses to stop with that F smash, that early F smash again.
Yeah, we've seen that kill at obscenely low percents on bad DI already this set. Twisty knows that absolutely can be a win condition, even if... speak of the devil.
That's so scary.
It's so scary. The angle, it's not even necessarily that strong, it's the angle it sends at. If you go back and you look at it, he went straight horizontal, and that can be really brutal. So yeah, it's really good showing from Twisty. That was a clean 3-1 for him. So he's gonna move on to round 2 with a 1-0 record, as will Stango. And we're just waiting right now for the other side of this pool to finish, which is they're currently playing Envy versus Frozen on the Clash Tournament stream.
Okay,
and
cool.
They already finished Grizzly versus Switch, which had Grizzly win.
Wow,
so huge
second
upset.
time. That's the second time.
Huge upset, but it is not the first time. Grizz he made honorable mention on PM Rank 2019, largely thanks to a win over Switch at a Massachusetts Monthly. Zelda does have a brutal punish game on Wolf, and Grizzly's been grinding, so he's been picking up great wins over 2020 over people like Connor and Watch and Learn, Flog, a few others come to mind. So great stuff to him. That's already a really strong start to the AFL. And so he's going to be playing the way Swiss works, again, for people who are unfamiliar. The people who win the round 1 will go on to play other people with 1-0 records in round 2. So we could be seeing Stango versus like Grizzly or Twisty, and then people who lost their round 1s will also play each other. So Torah, Switch, Aspastic, and then the loser of Envy and Frozen.
Okay. Now, all right.
We're just going to go to a quick break until they finish up that set, and then we'll be back with round 2.
Peace out, y'all.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the All Fundies League. We're about to kick off round 2 with some more great sets between two of the people who have been popping off so far. But first, we're going to bring you some information about the No Fundies League, the less fundamentally strong West Coast version of the No Fundies League, featuring all the players who have been showing off their talent, include people like Lucky, the Doctor, Sosa, Irene, Borman, and more. We've been running this league for a couple of months now, and we're going to be having the finale to Season 1 on January 31st, a doubleheader weekend with the West Coast Salty Splatoon on the 30th. So you're going to want to tune in next weekend for some great West Coast action both days of the weekend.
Yeah, PM continues to pick up steam throughout 2021, and I want to keep it going. So definitely tune into that. It's going to be lots of hype matches between both brackets. So be sure to keep on the lookout.
Yeah, can't wait to see it. And then I've already seen people talking about it. I am so excited for when we have in-person events and we have an AFL versus NFL crew battle. It's going to be some hype stuff.
No, you know I've been in all the chats being like, crew battle win, crew battle win.
Oh, we're ready. Bring it. East Coast ripped off our idea. We got some pride on the line now.
Who's gonna be the one to drag Lucky out of there?
We just got to do it in an event that also is melee and won't be chill.
Oh, true.
So we're gonna be kicking off a set between two people who are 1-0 so far. We just watched Twisty 3-1 Astastic, and then Envy on the other Clash Tournament stream picked up a win over Frozen at their first event in however long it's been. So we're going to be seeing these two face off, which is a classic match. I'm really excited to see. I don't actually know their record offhand, but I know Envy is historically pretty good at this matchup and also has a really good warrior himself, so he's very familiar with kind of the character and how to deal with him, and has taken Sosa to game 5 a couple times. So, should be good. We're getting a flat stage. I assume Twisty's banned right now based on the bans. I think it's Twisty because I'd imagine Envy. My bad. Because I'm assuming Twisty banned Delfino's and Green Hill. Yeah, we're gonna go to Smash Roll, which is kind of the usual starter. And Ike is a character who can put a lot of hurt on Warrior really fast. He's got great combos off his throw game, off of neutral air, and then his disjoints make him really good at stuffing out Warrior, which is something that a lot of characters can kind of struggle with.
Yeah.
So
the space that Nair covers, really big space horizontally in front of you, just cuts through the air, and relatively low in lag is something you can kind of wall out with. And then he's got really nice tilts for just denying airspace up tilt.
Up tilt and F tilt are so good. And then that forward air, it's just a big wall. It's just a do not pass zone, and if you don't have a way to get around it or wait it out, you are really going to struggle to come back to the stage inside because it does hit below the ledge if you space it correctly. Okay.
Wow, actually beats up there.
Yeah. Oh, what's the punish? It's a grab into nothing. And into death. But either way, decent start for Envy so far. It's been looking pretty clean, but already dropping a couple punishes.
And these two have played each other quite a bit. I mean, everyone in the No Fundies League, or the All Fundies League, has definitely played each other once or twice. But
yeah,
I've definitely seen these guys in top brackets for blacklisted regionals in the area.
Yeah, I'm not sure the last time that they played, but I know that they have played several times. Pretty much the only exception to like assuming people have played each other is like the very old school players and the very new school players. So people like, on the one hand you've got Zyme and Frozen, on the other you have like Aspect and Grizzly. But aside from that, pretty much everyone's played each other at some point. Like I said, these two, Twisty from Long Island, and then you've got Envy from New Jersey. So before Twisty was in New England, and when he's back in Long Island, I imagine they've been to the same events. And obviously, just national tier players play each other in top 8.
Right. I forget. I keep forgetting that he's moved. He's out of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
So,
see.
so far, I mean, Envy's getting most of his damage, I feel like, off of these anti-approach tools. Mostly up tilt, forward tilt.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's
Just
so much
denying
work.
space, denying that every time that Twisty has been going to the platform, because we know after the last game that Twisty does like his platform movement shenanigans.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe
wow.
just laying up and up tilt.
Yeah. I wonder, it looked like he made the stage and then he drifted back. Did he maybe think Envy was going to give him the ledge, or did he just not quite make it, do you think?
It might have been an attempted edge cancel too.
Also possible.
Yeah, that is a thing that they'll go for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I did just pull up my notes because I always have those on hand. Envy is, at least on a national level, is 2-0 over Twisty in 3.6 history, which doesn't necessarily mean that he's favored in the set. The most recent time they played was like 2018. I was wondering what the end to that tag was going to be.
He's calling out the devs right now.
Yeah. So yeah, he's kind of making a play to the devs, who are also many of them in this event. So maybe the play for Twisty here is, you go 0-3 in pools, you throw some sets to the people who make the game, and then they throw you a bone next match. But that being, Envy's not showing any mercy.
Yeah, the play actually is to sandbag this entire event and get your character buffed. That's the real play.
Yeah, definitely. So Envy's going to go ahead and ban interesting. So Envy banned FD there, which is traditionally a stage that people like against Warriors with less flats, but I guess both these guys are pretty okay fighting on flat stages. So
I didn't really see any button check.
It looks like a button check. I don't really know why, but
Okay.
yeah. So okay, Envy showing off his deck is very nice.
Whoa.
That was less nice, but he's doing his best.
What's stopping? I don't know. I guess this is the anti-airs. There was less platforms on it. We were on Smashville, but I'm curious if we're actually going to see some more of those bike shenanigans that we saw against Astastic, because that got so much mileage.
Mm-hmm. And I think at least having these consistent platforms, even if they're not as big in the grand scheme of the game as opposed to something like Battlefield, at least you always know they're going to be there as opposed to Smashville, where it might just be on the other side of the stage.
Right.
So it is a little bit more consistent for Twisty to work with. But at the same time, you will never have a plat in center stage to come down from, which is something that he likes to do quite a lot. So we'll see. So far, he's looking good this game.
Yeah, truly. He's gotten some goes in neutral, trying to finish off the stock. I think he was just throwing some out. Oh, it's the toy cost.
It's the fight, but maybe have some Twisty, and then he gets a get up attack. That was a bit of a two greedy smash attacks, but he's still in a good spot here. Unfortunately, Wario's aerial drift is so strong that it's really hard when he's that high up to. What was that up B? Why did it work?
That's top player up B right there.
Yeah, and then Wario side beat at him.
Another top player.
If you're enjoying watching two top 20 players duke it out, don't know what the hell we're watching. But they are both better than us. So,
that was a little bit more of what I expect from a top player.
Yeah, and Envy, that's kind of one of the things that really stands out to me about Envy's Ike is he is, there's a phrase I remember hearing at Blacklisted, which is that Envy could roll in a phone booth if he needed to. He needs no space to get those turnarounds when he's getting his confirms, and Candy right there.
Gets the grab. Doesn't mess up the DI there. So you can always, for Ike, his main throw option is the F throw, and you always want to DI for the F throw if possible, and then react to the back throw.
Back throw, down throw, both reactable. So, and then you're not really going to be up throwing Wario, so those are the three you really want to be thinking about. They all can combo on bad DI. Just got to be ready for that forward throw, because it's by far the fastest.
The only time he's got like a super good mix is when he's actually quick drawing at you, because there he can choose to throw
Grab you from my direction.
Yeah, or throw you from behind with a raw grab. At the turn use there.
Yeah, like raw jump cancel, or pivot grab, I guess, whichever one you like. But so far, Twisty's looking way cleaner than game one, I will say.
Goes super deep.
Yeah, I mean, Twisty had to use the waft to finish the job, but Envy did functionally just kill himself right there.
Really did.
He can get up, but this is definitely a scary spot that you'd like to be at if you're Envy right now, especially with Twisty getting all this damage. Oh, gets the spike and doesn't even send him to... Yeah, if Zero doesn't even send him into hit stun, just puts him in crumple and then he can immediately act.
Oh, calling out the roll, too!
Yeah, he waited for that, and that now he's going to do it. Sends it a straight horizontal angle, so there's nothing I can do to come back from that.
Get clapped. Truly.
Yeah, literally did. Okay, so we're going to see 1-1. Again, this time Twisty banning FD, so I think they just don't want to play on FD at this point. You understand why I think New York is in general not big on that stage. I wouldn't be shocked if we see another bottom middle 3 stage. Yep, we're going to run it back. New York is notoriously big on playing those bottom middle 3, so I wouldn't be shocked no matter how the games go if they continue to run these back.
Twisty's probably a little, or not Twisty, Envy's probably a little upset after kind of throwing that second to last stock in the garbage. Feels like he
definitely could have won that game, because I mean it was still close until the end, and he functionally threw away a stock. So hopefully, now he's like, okay, I gotta take this seriously. Twisty took a game, and he doesn't do that. But we'll see. Yep, that's such a strong confirm.
Juicy.
Yeah, the second hit of that up air, one of the strongest aerials in the entire game. It just murders people off the top. And especially on PS2, that Warrior just went explode.
Stronger than Fox up air, and I want to say it's like second only to Bowser up air.
I think it's second to Bowser. I'm pretty sure. It's extremely strong. And I mean the weak one isn't bad either, but the strong one is insane. Great counterplay there from Twisty. Doesn't end up getting the reversal, but still good stuff to keep the stock. At least keeps him in the game for now, but he is down 2.
Envy's mad. I want them back.
Yeah. No, Envy definitely like, okay, let's get this over with.
Straighten the record.
So, Twisty does close that one out, but he's just struggling so much right now to find openings. It feels like really he's getting largely like reversals, and he's getting a lot of damage off them, but if you're not actually winning neutral, you're going to really struggle to close out the game, and Envy's just winning neutral so much more frequently right now.
Good idea to try and get that clap and mix up the DI, but I think he's ready for it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh,
He
I couldn't see it.
He reversed back at him is what he did.
Oh!
No, I guess it technically wasn't reverse. He hit him with a weird hitbox that Warrior was in front of him and he went behind and then got stage fright. Really good move selection and just application of Pike's hitboxes there. And that's going to be it. Wow.
Yo, he stole the jump and just went all the way in.
Yeah, I mean, you said Envy was mad. I'm seeing it right now. I would not be shocked if we see Twisty elect to not run it back after that game. Maybe Battlefield or another stage, but that game was rough for him.
Okay, so one of the things I like to make a note of is if both people are banning one stage, just leave it open and use your ban on something else.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you're banning FD at this point.
Yeah,
it's clear to me that two of you are going to go there, so you don't need to spend the ban on it. But it might just be a courtesy type of thing. It's clear based on them running it back to PS2 for both of them that they're pretty okay with the same stages. So it might just be that they don't care all that much. But playing Twisty on Battlefield is a frightening prospect, no matter who you play.
Yeah, leaving this open, I'm scared of those bites. I'm terrified of bites, command grabs, just being able to play through that platform, dare through, and then like bounce back on the top platform where it's a little safer. Scary on this stage.
Well, yeah, and it's gonna help his neutral too. We saw in the previous set against Kumatora, he was doing a great job. Not Kumatora, that's Aztec. He was doing a great job of coming down from the plats with aerials, and that was helping him find a lot more openings that he was struggling with earlier in that set. So you can see the same here. And again, he's not dealing with nests of Mario with their short limbs anymore. This is Ike's sword that he has to contend with.
Ike actually does, now you mentioned that, and Ike definitely does have a way better time going up there and poking. He's got up tilt, which doesn't look like it'll hit, but it'll actually just hit your toes.
Yeah, and I mean, if he short off forward airs, that hits the entire plat, as well as the space in front of him. So that's also just another zone denier right there. You can't be here if I'm failing. Gonna try to end it, and still gonna get back for free afterwards.
He really likes to go deep.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of, did he just go mod forward air? Is that what that was?
More or less, yeah.
Envy's a genius. I've never seen that before.
Gets chucked for his trouble.
Yeah, he gets chucked. Well, it's a little surprised by that, but he's still up a stock and a half right now. Envy's looking so good this set. Primed to move into round 3 with a 2-0 record. And that would mean facing off against whoever wins the other undefeated set, the other set with 1-0 players right now.
Nice nair. Almost got him a lot there. I'm not sure if he wasn't ready for it or something, but it looked like he could have converted off of that.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, Twisty's okay. He gets the waft, but great DI from Envy there. He goes up and not out, and extended the stock a little bit. It's not quite enough.
Signs of life.
Yeah, Twisty's still in this for sure. And I mean, Ike has a good recovery, but it is exploitable. Twisty could. A lot of characters can get bike, but Wario absolutely can get bike. So.
No.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you look at that and you want to hold that ledge, but also you can just get spiked and die. So I think Twisty's playing it safe, and he's doing a great job right now bringing this back, just racking up damage with forward air. He needs to find his way back on stage. And he's just controlling stage with his forward tilts.
Oh, he's done. Yeah.
That bite is it's so threatening, but if you shield it, it's terrible on shield. So Envy just respecting it, giving Twisty space to side B at him, and then punishing accordingly. Great stuff.
So, I mean, the amount of time he had, you can literally drop shield and pick an option. Like, it's that long. You get seconds.
Yeah, I mean, he could probably drop shield for the match, honestly. Down and back air, that's not going to be it, but Twisty has to burn his waft. Which now means that he's down a full stock and has lost what is kind of his traditional comeback mechanic. He is unlikely to have another waft for the rest of his game, which means that he's going to need to find a gimp or a zero to death or something right now without that tool. Or he could get forward air in the back of the head. And that's going to be a 3-1 for Envy.
Cleaned up real quick. Envy,
Okay, so
is insane. I love watching his play, man. That Ike is something special.
He's so good. There are a lot of really strong Ikes these days, but he still stands out as just being so precise and clean. His fundamentals really shine through, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So we had that set, and then that means that Envy is going to be playing the winner of Grizzly versus Stango in round 3. Whereas the next set we're going to have is going to be between two players who've lost their round 1 set. We've got Kumatora coming back to the PM Nexus stream, facing off against Switch, who was, like we said, was upset 3-0 by Grizzly in a probably the biggest upset so far, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to see if Switch can kind of bring back the momentum that we were all expecting him to come into this league with and take the set here.
Grizzly the Spacey Slayer.
He really is. And I mean, his play style and his character is so well suited for it. His first top 50 win was quite literally Switch when Switch was a top 5 player, and I feel like, that it's not a shock that of all the people he could have beaten in this league, him getting Switch was a great draw for round 1. So
yeah, he was probably excited. He said, "Yeah, I get to play who?"
Oh, I guarantee he was popping off. And, I would love to see him pull the upset on Stango. I think that is a much harder mountain to climb, just matchup wise, because there is no way that Stango is going to be playing Fox into him. I would bet money that it's going to be 0-2 or some other matchup that is much more difficult for Zelda. Might even be Ivy, honestly. But yeah, that's going to be rough for Grizzly, but still very doable. And like I said, we are going to have Switch versus Kumatora, which is going to be Wolf versus Ness. Almost definitely. These two don't really play other characters.
So last game we saw Kumatora. She was definitely struggling a little bit against Spacey.
Yeah.
Curious to see. I mean, it's a different kind of neutral for sure, but it's generally a worse neutral for Ness. So
yeah, Wolf neutral is so hard to deal with for most characters. So we'll see, and I mean, we see that they're striking down to these long stages. We're going to be starting on PS2, which on the one hand is great because it means that and it's be able to kill off the top, and there won't really be platforms for Wolf to escape to from the combo game. It also does mean you have to get in on Wolf without these platforms, and Switch is already lasering underneath that plat.
I'm curious. I mean, like, Wolf doesn't really play as horizontally as like Fox does, right?
Well, not in the traditional sense with the dash dances, but with Laser Waveland, he definitely is very much a horizontal character, I would say.
Oh, sorry, did I say horizontally?
You did, yeah. Oh, you meant vertically. Yeah, no, I think he does have a little bit less mobility vertically, I think, than Fox. Oh, great. Yeah, good conversion from Kumatora. So I feel like platforms would be less scary in this matchup than they were in the Fox matchup. Should Kumatora need to counterpick, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Battlefield or something like that. But maybe Fountain. But for right now, she's doing great on PS2. Switch hasn't really been able to find these openings. He's just kind of getting straight hits, and Kumatora is taking it to the bank when she gets one. That was almost an insane combo. And,
no.
It's a media cancel. But the thing is, there is that even if you hit that media cancel with Ness's double jump, it's so slow that Wolf could have maybe just done it again or further pushed her off stage with another aerial. So, not the worst thing in the world to die there, because you would probably get anyway. Switch picking up the speed a little bit now. We're seeing it move a little better. He's gonna die there, but hopefully he's starting to find his footing now.
I feel like the magnet is a little bit better used. I mean, it's definitely 100% better put to use here than it was against Fox.
Okay.
Mostly because, like, Wolves like to follow in behind the laser, and naturally, like, that means they can do whatever. They can even hang back if they want to, but as the Ness, you can still act out of that laser and, like, not act out of the laser, act out of the magnet, and either put out a different hitbox if they're, or go to a different space if they're laying back, and if they're falling in, you have hurt boxes or hitboxes all around you to protect them.
Yeah, makes sense. But as we're talking, I mean, Switch made short work of that stock. Again, not really, a crazy combo like we've been seeing from Ness, but just keeping Kumatora in disadvantage for a full stock, and that's what you're going to need to do if you're going to pick up the pace and win this game. Because Ness's punish game on fast followers can be brutal. You don't necessarily need to compete with that. You just need to stop them from doing it 4 times. Right now, Switch is going off for 20% that stock, and is now in the lead for the first time. Okay, so he's back, he's good.
That was a little sketchy situation right there. It could have been bad, but we cleaned it
Yeah,
up.
that definitely could have been like he just gets dared and he's dead, but he made it back, he's good. He's gonna be fine from this unless Kumatora finds a way to close it out. He does miss the angle, okay.
Alright, so this can really be, this is like first neutral win. Who's gonna win neutral here?
Yeah, and this is such a big game for him. Kumatora, one of the lower seeds in this pool, would love to pick up momentum in a set against Switch, who is a top 10 player. But Switch is also yet to win a game in the AFL. So I think for him, the momentum, he wants to kind of turn that around, and there he goes. Now he's on the board, he's got one. Let's see what we can do with it.
Classic shiny.
Yeah. So, like we were saying, I'm expecting to see some plats in Kumatori's counter pick here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not. At least Switch hasn't shown it so far that he's super threatening with the vertical platforms. Like he's gonna run away or something like that, like Stango was. So I think the platform is gonna be more boon than bust here. Neutral. If neutral's not that much an issue, then Kumatori gets to reap all the benefits for punishment.
Yeah. And I think this is a good compromise, right? Like, you're getting the flat stage for the punish game, but also if you are really struggling to approach, you can wait for the platform to come back and then approach with it.
Right.
And that can help quite a lot.
This is saucy.
The fourth though, good DI there from Switch. Like I was saying, that fourth though has crazy high base knockback, so it can be really scary if you DI it wrong, but not that threatening if you just DI it correctly, DI up.
Interesting choice to try and edge guard with the PK Fire too.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, I might have just been hoping for kind of a lazy recovery from Switch, because if she hits it, Switch is stuck in that fire, and there's not a whole lot he can do, so it's a pretty easy follow-up from there, but it does rely on him missing a sweet spot or otherwise going into it. Nasty combo from Switch. That was an easy 0 to 50, and still going. That's another down air. It's media cancel this time, but nothing off it.
You're not dead quite yet.
Not yet. Wolf is so heavy. Yeah, the Switch is still too clean right now.
Oh, good edge cancel there. That was smart. I didn't even realize that was on the table there.
I didn't either, but you can tell what Switch did. If you look at how far back he was waiting underneath that plat, that was awareness of that edge cancel being on the table and it not being worth it for him to try and punish and risk getting back there. Good stuff to him there, just waiting it out. He used to play with Stereo all the time. He's very familiar with Ness, so. And Boyko, for that matter. Back to Boyko played Ness, so. No surprises here in this matchup for him.
Gets the balloon. Looking pretty rough for Kuma.
Yeah, this is looking significantly better for Switch than Game 1 did. Game 1, it felt like he was down for most of it, and then he kind of clawed it back at the end. He's been up this whole game, and he just floored the F-Smash and it almost killed it 20%. That was something.
9 out of that.
Yeah.
PK Fire? Wild.
The hitbox isn't active ever. Try and shine his frame 1. You just mash it, eventually it'll come out.
He had to know that she was going to be within range, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, great awareness from Switch. He just knows this matchup. He knows kind of where his opponents are going to try and come in on him, and then that's when he takes the opportunity to counterattack. But he's not doing it when they're not going to be there, so they're not watching out for it until he does it, which is really important. And I like that he's still throwing out these lasers. Even though Kumatori is stealing off some of them, he's still benefiting enough in neutral for it to be worth throwing them.
Yeah.
Even if the percent is probably net neutral, he's still getting stage positioning, which is good.
He's forcing an option. If you know what they're gonna do, that's your turn to make your play.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, he gets down tilted, and Kumatori wasn't ready for it. Didn't take advantage of the pop up, and it looks like we're seeing a little bit of spots from Kumatori there. Oh, gee. Does get that kill with the update. Just kind of, Switch got caught off guard a little too slow on the edge guard there, but he is still pretty well ahead of this game. Doesn't go for the up B there, or side B. Just opts to go back to stage and threaten.
Okay.
Great quick thought.
Wow.
I was wondering there if Switch could drop below the ledge and shine her under the stage, but obviously that's not a consistent thing. I don't blame him for not doing it in tournament, but I would have been interested to see it. Okay, yeah, gets the classic laser down smash, and now he's up a fair amount, but close enough to even. I think that one neutral interaction could bring this fully back to even for Kumatori right now. Find it.
Starting to pick apart that shield as wolves are known to do.
Yeah,
right,
and Kumatori's trying so hard to get in it, which is just kind of letting her come to him and then punishing that. But she's pressing so many buttons on him, and none of them are really. They're not consistently working. And when they are, it seems like it's almost catching her off guard, and she's not really ready to capitalize as heavily as we were seeing against Stango.
But here we go, the first real big. Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
not the combo anymore.
No, yeah, I mean she got 35 for it, but you see Switch was a little bit more ready than Stango was for that counterplay of the jab reset down air, and just reverse all that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just like that. Off your own neutral win.
Yeah. And that's gonna be it. Switch goes up 2-0.
All right. More platforms, please? Question mark.
Yeah, I think Smashville was kind of, like I said, it was the compromise. It was, I want platforms for neutral, but I don't want them to interfere with the punish game. And I think maybe now might be the time something really needs to change. Maybe you go for a triplat here, with Metal Cavern or something like that. But I think clearly the flatter stages are favoring Switch, even though Kumatara is healing off those lasers, and like in theory that would deter Switch from using them. He's still pushing her into the corner and forcing her to pick an option with them. So they're still really effective in this matchup.
Yeah. I saw some real good signs from that punish game in the last game right there. Those last few stocks, she started to crawl back, but she needs a little something extra. I'm really it doesn't go with platforms after all. I was really hoping for some platforms and maybe she could squeeze something else out of it. But she thinks
I would like to see that, but I mean, running it back kind of shows she thinks she's confident in her pick, and I mean it wasn't a blowout either of the games that she's lost so far. It's not like she's losing so badly that she needs to dramatically shake it up. But I am interested to see what she's going to do differently on this stage that she thinks will change the pace of that game after it was largely in Switch's favor for pretty much the whole game. She kind of had a lead and kept it the entire game.
I trust her judgment. Maybe those last few stocks she was really starting to show, so she could like throw some bows, So
yeah,
I'm curious. Maybe she's got a dial on something here.
Yeah, but she's gonna need to whatever that trick up her sleeve is. It's gonna need to come out real fast, because Switch is definitely warmed up at this point, and he's ending these stocks so quickly. Oh.
Okay,
I
nice.
really like that. That was really smart. I wasn't really sure how that was going to play out, but just let the magnet end and then grab ledge. Nice and simple. That's a great example of, like, she might be healing off the laser, but Switch is still winning when she does. So mobility to be able to approach behind those lasers is so good for Wolf.
Where she goes, actually fakes out for, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but
yeah, I mean, we'll give her credit. We all got fooled. I thought she was in. And that's all that really matters. You have the job done.
Yeah.
But you guys need a way to get. She got off the plat finally, but you need a way to get in on Switch, and that down smash is there to greet her.
Hello from New York.
Yeah. That down smash.
Oh.
Ooh, good move to cancel this with Switch. Definitely ready for it. But either way, finally seeing a combo there from Kumatara. Good.
Wait.
Didn't. So that's
got it.
Saw earlier. Earlier she'd been doing those down air and then jab reset the same way that she'd been doing the Stango, and Switch has been buffering an option to get out of it. And this time she just waited and tech chased him in a more traditional fashion, baiting out that get attack and then punishing him. It got her to stop.
Yeah, that was really smart.
I thought he was going to forward throw flash. I'm not going to lie. It was Ivan that's a throw flash.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Different strokes for different players. But Switch looking great right now. One stock away from securing the 3-0. See what Kumatara's got.
She took a breath there. She collected herself. Started with a really strong combo, but already lost neutral.
Yeah.
She just needs one more of those, and I think she's in a good spot. Not that far off.
Yeah, she's one neutral interaction away from even, and then maybe 3 away from winning the game, but that's still 3 neutral interactions against Switch, and executing a competent punish game against some of his defensive talent. So he's not making it easy for her by any means.
Whoa, interesting. That's got to be a mistake.
That must have. I guarantee that was a down tilt. That must have been a down tilt.
There's no way. Okay.
And so she got the magnet. Good SDI there from Switch to not even be anywhere near Nest, so that there's no risk of getting down aired and having to tech that.
What do you do?
And
What do you do?
I don't know. I like that they've been playing neutral for like 20 seconds and percents haven't changed at all. Oh my god.
It doesn't die.
And Wolf is the single hardest character in this game to kill off the top, and sometimes it really shows.
At 144%, like halfway off the ground.
Yeah. Down a fair amount, but I mean, she could easily stay at this percent for quite a long time if she keeps healing. But all Switch needs is like a couple more hits and then a shine, and this is over. This is so scary for Ness right now.
Ooh, actually, that was almost a really good PK fire there.
Yeah. Oh, he gets the up tilt up there. I mean, at this point, damage is nice, but really, it's one neutral win for Switch, and this is the game. Or could just take it.
Wow, good.
Great punish.
Who's ready for that tech in? I mean, if he didn't tech in place there, that'll drop the combo and probably been another punish for Switch. So that was good. Put it all on.
All in. Yeah, she went all in there, and it paid off. So Kumatora is on the board. 2-1 in the set right now. Let's see where Switch goes, because he's been doing pretty well on the stages that they seem to mutually agree are fine for them, which are these flat stages. Mm-hmm. We see Kumatora did elect to not let him go back to PS2 when she lost 2 games. Or 1 game, I should say. But now he's going to an even bigger stage in Delfino's, so...
Alright, so we got our wish for more platforms. This time it's from Switch's counterpick, so maybe he'll show us why.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll show us why we didn't see this earlier.
Yeah, it's very possible. That was such a good stock. And I don't even know how much of that was tied to the platforms, because he just got Anna cornered really quickly. But either way, he's looking very comfortable right now. And then covered the Omsi tech. That's,
oh my god!
Okay, great job. She saved herself with the PK Thunder. That is something that Ness can do on purpose.
Oh!
Does not matter. Switch is an insane person. Switch is here to play.
You can't win. She got out of the combo, quotation marks, like 3 times, and so what do you mean?
Yeah, he just kept following and was always ready to pick up no matter what defensive option she picked. That was a beautiful stock from Switch, and this is such a rough start to Game 4 for Kumatora. Barely win Game 3, and then this is how the next one starts. And that's another one.
The old reliable man. Oh my god.
Right. We're on pace here for a 4 stock. Switch is, I feel like he tried to footstool her. This is brutal. He didn't have a jump there, yeah, so there's not going to be a 4 stock, but Switch is absolutely tearing Kumatora apart this game. This is going to be a monster of a hill to climb for Kumatora to bring this to a Game 5. Yeah, not going to get killed there. Same situation, saving herself with PK Thunder, and again, Switch does not really care. Okay, she gets out of shield there. Gets him down at it.
Okay.
Great forward tilt.
Wow.
Yeah. I liked the F tilt, but she needed to get to ledge after and just didn't quite have enough time.
Someone said no.
Yeah, that's a little high. This is so rough. I feel like 2 very competitive games. Game 2 was like, okay, and then this happened, and Switch was just like, oh right, I'm a top 5 player, this is why. And yeah, that's gonna be it. That's a 3-1 win for Switch. So he's gonna move on to round 3 with a 1-1 record. Kumatora is gonna move on with an 0-2 record. So she's going to play the loser of Astastic and Frozen. I don't actually know who Switch is going to play. It kind of depends on... There are a couple sets that he could be playing depending on how things go. Because Switch is kind of wonky like that. But we're going to be waiting to see. And it looks like over on the Clash Tournament stream, Astastic did pick up the win over Frozen. So we're going to be seeing Kumatora versus Frozen. And then they're currently having Grizzly versus Stango.
How's that going?
Stango's up 2-0. He's playing Zero Suit, which is kind of what I expected, because you got that speed to really just run through Zelda's zoning game, which is what Grizzly is so strong at.
And the consistent kill power with the dare to dive kick.
Yeah, CSS does not struggle with full power against floaties, that's for sure. So it looks rough. Grizzly's still doing all right. This game is relatively close, but I would say it is a reasonable expectation that we're going to see round 3, which is the two people who have yet to lose a set so far are probably going to be Twisty versus, Envy versus Stango,
That's
which
fun.
I have not seen ever. So I'm very excited for that.
I wonder who will play. I really personally want to see a Spacey versus Sortie. I think those are classics, no matter how you slice it up.
I love watching, especially Envy. Envy versus I feel like Envy versus particularly Wolf has been so many iconic sets over the
That's
years.
exactly what I was thinking of. Switch Envy sets.
Switch Envy. He's played Filthy a surprising number of times, and those are always great sets.
Silver's
yeah,
probably up on there too. I haven't
he's
really
played
watched.
Silver a lot. Obviously not Wolf, but yeah, great sets there. I think we usually see the Fox when he plays against Silver, which is obviously the Spacey that Stango also uses if we were to see him play Spacey at all. But he could play Zero Suit. He could play if Ivy actually does quite well in that matchup. Wouldn't be shocked if we see that. But so far, Stango has just been putting on a dominant showing here. I don't think he didn't lose a game to Kumatora, right? He 3-0'd her.
I do not think so. Yeah.
So he's on pace to make it to round 3 without having dropped a game, which is insane if he does it.
Insane in this league, especially. I mean, it's one thing to say that in some other bracket, but this is Shark Tank. Like,
yeah, this is there are no like pot fillers to like you get a free round here. This is we just pulled the 16 best players on the East Coast, which contains some of the most stacked regions in the world.
If you said that Kumatora was one of the bottom seeds, right?
Kumatora was one of the bottom seeds in this pool, yeah. And Kumatora is, like I said, the number 1 player in Massachusetts and one of the best players in New England. Let me see what she was seeded in this pool. She was the 5th seed in this pool, so she was kind of around the middle. But still, I mean,
who's the bottom seed?
So 8 was Aspastic, and then Frozen, and then Grizzly, and then Kumatora.
Zahime was. So Zahime wasn't?
Zahime was also 5th seed in his pool. So Kumatora and Zahime were seeded the same, but in their different pools.
Interesting.
Seeded around the same spot.
What has Zahime been at? All right, it looks like we're gonna go be right back real quick. So just hang out and chat, and we'll be on soon as we have the next set ready up.
See you in a bit. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the third and final round of Swiss pools for Pool 1 here at the All Fundies League. So we are going to be having the two remaining sets that are going to be on this stream. Kicking it off with Frozen versus Kumatora, who are the two players that are battling it out. At this point, they are both guaranteed to be in the bottom four of this pool, which means they'll go into the lower bracket for in a couple of weeks. But they are still playing for seeding and obviously for pride. And I'm really excited to see. We've had Kumatora on this stream twice already, and she's been an explosive player to watch. And Frozen is just a treat. We haven't seen Frozen enter a PM tournament in literal years, so I'm so excited to see that.
I'm really excited to see how they shape up, because like ultimate player now for the most part. I mean, a little bit of Smash 4, but really,
Frozen was notoriously she made top 50 in Ultimate, wins over Tweak and other really good players, but has been kind of playing a lot of PMP Plus again recently, and has been very vocal about being excited to compete in this game again. So I can't wait to see what she brings to the table.
At one point, we can say that Frozen was definitely the #1 Mewtwo, right? I mean,
absolutely, for a long time, and then Fuzz actually came up very shortly after Frozen retired, so it wasn't even really a passing approach so much as like, one left and then the other one appeared. It's like the rule of two for the Sith, only it's one, but yeah, so maybe one day we'll see those two ditto. But the time being, Frozen off to a good start, taking that first off the Ledgehog.
So two double canceled characters right here. This is going to be a little interesting.
Yeah, the way these two move around the stage is so fascinating, because they both have double jumps. Ness can really turn himself around super quickly with that magnet, and we see Kumatora loves to do that. And then Mewtwo has both a float and a teleport. So these two are going to be all over the stage, despite being slow-ish characters on the ground. We are not going to see them on the ground very often.
Yeah. Oh,
great angle.
Just barely.
Yeah, hit the stage at a different angle than Frozen was ready for, and meant that it took a little bit longer for her to reach Mewtwo and let that F smash end. Oh wow, she back-aired the PK Fire and then got hit by it. Yeah, and one of the things that is going to be tough here is Mewtwo's a pretty difficult character for a lot of characters, including Ness to combo, it seems like, because relatively floaty, Mewtwo does have a big frame, but it can also buffer float air dodge, or double jump air dodge, which is an extremely fast escape option. So,
and still has access to that Nair.
Yeah, and incredibly fast arrows, yeah. Nair and Fair are both within 5 frames. One is 4 and one is 5, I can never remember which. But they're both extremely fast. I think Fair is 4 and Nair is 5, yeah. But they're both extremely fast. They're also, they can also be combo starters, and they can, Fair can just straight up kill as a combo breaker, which is terrifying. But that down tilt up is going to do it. That is a very consistent kill confirm on Fundies, so see a lot of that on the rare times that Kumatora can catch Frozen near the ground. We haven't seen much of so far.
Okay, gets the punish on the PK Fire, doesn't get too much. It's it's definitely a lot of aerial dogfighting here.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Frozen was trying to float into Kumatora's airspace and threaten with that back air. Great response from Kumatora to just go a little bit higher and then get all this damage off it.
As of right now, it's looking like the punish game is definitely in Kumatora's favor. I feel like she's just getting a little bit more consistent punish game. But somehow Frozen is she's really getting the kills here.
Yeah, Frozen, and that's a strength of Mewtwo too, is, you've got the amazing edge guard game, and you've got that up throw, which is one of the most consistent kill throws in the game. And you're just really not going to struggle with finding kills in this matchup, or almost any matchup with Mewtwo. So even though Frozen is maybe getting fewer hits per opening, getting Ness off stage and racking up damage is still really valuable, because it all leads towards that grab at the end of the stock. I would love to see at some point Frozen do side B, which is Confusion, and reflect those aerial PK fighters back. I've yet to see Kumatora really do anything to counter that, so that would be an interesting mix-up, but so far, Frozen is still just moving around them and just kind of respecting Ness in the air.
Frozen, she's really going for those punishes on the PK Thunder too. Like,
yeah.
I don't think not once she's been afraid to go out there and try and challenge it.
No, and I mean, when you have a tail as big as Mewtwo, you might as well. There's not really any risk of what we saw with Switch, where he got quote-unquote reverse edge coded, and he basically just died to PK Thunder 2. You don't really have to worry about that because Mewtwo is such a big disjoint on back air and up air that, oh wow.
Wow, alright. So Kumatora gets the first game off a clean dare up air, the classic, get that meteor, and you can do whatever you want afterwards.
Yeah, and I mean, we were talking about Frozen the whole game, and Kumatora just kind of slowly brought that back, but really strong showing there.
She's good at that. She's been doing that she's been on our screen this entire time, and she's been doing that every time.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm still surprised by it. Play of this caliber with a punish game like hers, but nonetheless, still very impressive stuff. And Frozen is taking her to PS2, so we're just going to see those forward airs and up throws kill even earlier off the top. But at the same time, so will Ness up there. So there's a bit of a double-edged sword here. Frozen taking a gamble that playing more on stage and being able to get those early kills will be worth it.
It's definitely the middle 3 league.
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, that's the difference. The AFL is only allowed to play on the middle 3, and the NFL isn't allowed to play on the middle 3.
That's the fundamentals there.
Yeah. We only get to start on Green Hill and Delfino's, and let me tell you, it sucks.
I believe you, man. I don't want to go to Delfino's ever. Please.
Yeah, same. Okay, so far, that's just legendary. I was gonna say Kumatori's been doing a really good job of weaving around that massive back air that Mewtwo can threaten with. So for a character with Ness's recovery, she's doing a pretty impressive job of staying alive off stage.
I don't know if you know this or not, but that back air, basically where the tip of the tail, where that it's all blue, that's pretty much all disjoint, right?
Yes, that's all disjoint. Okay. So it's not the whole tail can hit Mewtwo, but it is much smaller of a hitbox than it is in Melee, for example, where that is kind of cited as the main reason that Mewtwo is really bad in that game, is that you can't dash dance because they can hit your tail. But yeah, pretty strong disjoint on a move that can be thrown out about 8 times a float. Frozen making great work of it now. Yeah, that's gonna be the stop. Good.
Wow. Wasn't even at that high percent. That was just a good, pretty good angle. I guess she was trying to angle the PK Thunder, so she caught kind of rough the eye there, huh?
Yeah, that's what I think. And Mewtwo back end does send it a pretty horizontal angle, which can be rough for a character like Ness. It's not necessarily going to kill you, but it can do that wall of pain thing, similar to Jigglypuff, where you just go so far that you can't come back. And even though Ness recovery is decent distance to it, it's still very susceptible to getting ledge hog. Let's see, I mean, this is one hit away from death for Frozen, but at the same time, you're kind of running out of combos that are going to work on Mewtwo at 130. I think pretty much the only one at this point is going to be down tilt up air. See there, that raw up air is finally going to do the trick. So Kumatora is still back in this, but Frozen has a pretty solid lead for how slow these games have been so far. Not seeing any 0 to deaths.
What are you doing with that Thunder? That's costing you.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is for Kumatora there, because Mewtwo is so scary off stage. You're kind of just picking your poison. But Frozen has a great lead right now on Kumatora's doing. Okay, tries to call her out with the up smash.
Really not good.
Yeah. And this is all, as far as Kumatora's concerned, this is all icing on the cake, because she is one hit away from death, and yeah, there we go. There were a couple situations where she probably should have gotten grabbed and then barely got out of it. So she got some extra damage on that stock, but now she does still need to She needs to take this one as quickly as she can if she wants to have a shot at taking this game too.
Throwing the PK fire and trying to just clip, the big body on Mewtwo is definitely the biggest weakness here. And although the Mewtwo for a big body actually has a pretty good shield, still something that you can try and poke with the PK fire, since it's actually a pretty good poke tool if you aim for the feet and things like that.
Yeah, totally. And same deal with down tilt. Like down tilt is such a good shield poke. But so far, the Frozen is just extending this lead, and Kumatori's throwing things out, but yet to find a meaningful opening that leads into a kill.
Can't get in.
Yeah, how do you get in with Ness against that disjoint? What? I've never seen PK Thunder 2 send someone nowhere at 160. That was the strongest crouch cancel I've ever seen.
Amazing.
It must have been. I mean, I know that it does get weaker over time, but that was still crazy. And yeah, that's a 2-stock for Frozen.
That must be bad. That's gotta feel bad. You actually hit with the PK Thunder 2 at 100 and change, and you still don't even get them off stage barely.
Yeah, like you've been trying to kill them at 100 and change for it feels like a whole minute, and then you finally get like your strongest move, and it does nothing. That's frustrating. But Notorious gonna bring it to the Metal Cavern, where hopefully this higher platform is gonna help her get in. Maybe approach through this joint, but she needs to come back.
Now,
that was such a good option select, because if she up full tilt, she gets the edge guard. If not, she's gonna get that grab. No escape for Kumatori right now.
I'm a little confused with this pick. I really haven't gotten seen the light in a lot of Kumatori's picks until after the fact. But this one seems a little puzzling again, just because that platform. I mean, can't you get poked really easily from aerials, but from Mewtwo here?
Yeah, I'm also, I will admit, not super clear on this counter pick, just because, like you said, not only can Mewtwo threaten through the platform, so you can't really come in on Mewtwo from above, which is by itself a scary proposition because you've got up air and up tilt, which are massive disjoints. But also, now you have to approach under this platform while Mewtwo is barreling or tilting or up airing or forward smashing at you. And there's not a whole lot of room to maneuver between those hitboxes and come in with a meaningful approach.
Right.
So, I mean, and so far it's like, it has been quite difficult, I think, for Kumatori to find these openings. It's great when she has center stage, and I think that might be the idea here. But when Mewtwo has center stage, it's so hard.
What a great
also, really good up air there.
Yeah.
Sends almost nowhere when you get that reverse up air, especially with that DI. So it just tacks down damage, moves them a little bit closer to the blast zone, and then you get that back air to seal it.
Yeah. You finally get the presence of mind because you're about to get to a wall of pain or something like that to try and hold out and hopefully just not eat the back air again and attempt to recover. And then you get clipped with such a weak move that you don't go anywhere and you get set up.
Exactly, yeah. So now we see Frozen is set up shop in center stage. Which is kind of what we were talking about, and that grab is going to do it. That grab has been such a difference maker for Frozen these last two games. Because Kumatori can hit all the hard combos, but if you can't get those kills, it doesn't matter, and that's what Frozen's been so good at so far.
Yeah, and I mean both these characters technically do have a kill throw, but it shows you how much better a kill throw off the top really makes a character. And also being able to get in. I mean, where's she going to get the grab in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we haven't even seen Kumatori getting grabs, really. I think part of that might be that she's not going for it as much, but because down throw doesn't really combo on Mewtwo, so until you hit back 30%, you're not getting a lot. But either way, I mean, Kumatori is just struggling to get openings that are kind of these random stray hits in neutral, which are, they're getting damage and they're kind of working, but it's not anywhere near the back air chains and the strong combos that we're seeing from Frozen right now. She's kind of getting outpaced in that regard. That won't be it, yeah. It's a hard teleplay to hit.
Tries to clip the toes. There we go. Starting to see it.
Yeah, that was a really good call out on Frozen has been consistently trying to shield grab there, and eventually really good grab. I thought that was going to be an aerial and just have the presence of mind to land on the plat and go for the up throw. But yeah, Kumatora, that was adaptation, that was calling out. You know, you've been shield grabbing here consistently, so hopefully we see more of that and Kumatora continues to keep this competitive.
Ooh.
There's out, but not going to get anything for it. You get that forward tilt, but now you have to edge guard Mewtwo, and that is not an easy task for any character, let alone Ness, who's not exactly notorious for strong edge guards.
These wake up situations is where Kumatora has been making her money.
Yeah, the wake up situations and like the mid-air scraps have really been where she's getting in these openings.
Can we get a kill? We need to get a kill soon, like
yeah, we need a
ASAP.
kill for Kumatora to stay in this. And she's already down a significant amount, and like we've been seeing in this match, percent on Ness is really important because that up throw is always waiting. There's never going to be a time when Mewtwo is struggling to find kills the way we've seen so often in this tournament.
Yeah, there's like, okay, some characters like we've seen with Mewtwo, some characters can just start. All right, I've been racked up enough damage where I'm just not getting comboed anymore. But never an option when you're playing against Mewtwo. That up throw is always in play.
Yeah, that's the difference between having a throw that combos into a kill move, like for example Mario's down to a forward air where it stops working at some point, versus this up throw which just straight up kills. There's no percent range, there's no DI option. If you get grabbed and you're past a certain percent, that's your stop. There's nothing you can do about it. But right now Kumatora is doing a great job of dancing around these grabs.
There we go.
And that really is all the Trojan's been looking for this start.
There we go.
Advantage. Oh, and there's the original.
Oh.
There's that photo. So Frozen does go up 2-1, but that was a competitive game, especially at the end of there. Kumatora started to bring it back. So lots of room here for adaptation going into game 4.
Where do you go? I mean, honestly, that stage looked like it was kind of sort of working out. I want to say maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the stage or just learning. I mean, like it's always a little both, but. Let's see.
Yeah, and this is as they go. This is a relatively rare character, Mewtwo. The only other Mewtwo really on the East Coast is HMO4, who has been retired for quite some time now, and then Anthony has like a tertiary Mewtwo. Oh, that's good to know. So when I was talking about the confusion earlier, apparently it only deflects horizontally, not vertically. So Frozen did that, and it just sent it into the ground. But yeah, so I don't know how Kumatora, how much experience she has in this matchup, whereas Frozen has quite a lot from Stereo Kid back in the day. And they were both top players.
Man, I forgot about Stereo Kid.
He was so good.
East Coast has levels, man.
Yeah, I miss old school East Coast, like when it was Stereo, Gallo, Frozen, that crew. Yeah, we'll be talking about in videos, but that's for another time.
Yeah, I'm excited to see some more of those. What is the series called?
I've been calling it PM Deep Dives, but you're getting into Supernova next, so it should be fun. But in the meantime, this game has been extremely even. Kimiko's doing a great job. I think I really like the stage pick. I think the moving flats have been historically considered pretty good for Ness because that down air just hits through them.
Yep.
And at the same time, you're not giving Frozen somewhere to hide underneath, really. So I think that's really strong. And obviously you've got the side blast zones, which are great for killing with back air and back throw. Insane DI that you can release that back air in the blast zone. I
somehow manages to make it back. Wow.
Yeah, that was but is this... No, not quite going to do it. That is another benefit of FOD, is you've got a relatively high ceiling to survive those up throws.
Okay, pressing buttons again.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get away with these moving platforms and stuff. Not only, like you said, the dare can like poke through, but also the angles for the PK fires change because sometimes you have to tilt your shield where you didn't think you had to before. It's another wrinkle in it. And if you're talking about Mewtwo with those crazy rolls actually can get trapped really easy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, if you're trying to roll out a shield and then suddenly the platform came up and then you're rolling half the distance, that can really limit, because the animation is still the same time, but you're going less far, which means that you're just a sitting duck for Nest to grab.
Yeah.
So far, Frozen's doing a great job playing around these plats as they've been coming up.
Oh, nice pivot grab.
Yeah,
Raw
I love
pivot grab.
Doesn't really get anything more, and then teleport back out from Frozen.
Oh,
Gets
that
the
was
edge.
on purpose.
Yep. Frozen's been looking really clean tech-wise, which I love to see, because I know that she's been kind of coming back to PM, but it's been quite a long time since she was competing regularly. It's weird that reversed that back out again. But yeah, I'm very happy to see that Frozen looks like she's in practice and really playing to her character's strengths in a way I'm excited to see. So that's awesome.
Oh, actually good call out on the up smash.
Oh, this is scary. That's a down smash, yep.
Are those?
Yeah, DI's out, which is good because you won't get disabled, which has very high horizontal knockback, but the, yeah, not quite going to do it. I was actually really good at play there, I think. But Gumatora needs this stock now if she's not going to drop this set and find herself the bottom placer in this pool.
Keep throwing those PK fires because that shield's looking like an M&M. If you're going to get in, now's the time.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it. But Frozen is just already there with that back air. Really clean stuff there from Frozen. So that's going to be a 3-1 victory for her, which is solidifying her placement in this pool. And then, so they are both, like we said, they're going to go on to the lower 8-man bracket, which is going to be aired in a few weeks. And then the next set that we have up is going to be between the two players who have won every set we've seen them in so far, Stango and Envy. So that will determine the number 1 seed going into top 8 for next month. And also these two, I believe, have never met in tournament until this point. So it's going to be a big set.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for this match. This is something I was looking forward to, and I'm glad we got it on our stream because like I said earlier, I'm an Envy stan. I'm definitely an Envy stan. His Ike's so sick, and then Stango's been he's been on a tear. Everything
he's the storyline of like new PM basically.
Mm-hmm.
So very excited to see these two face off. When obviously Envy has been one of the best players on the East Coast for years and years now, where Stango is really coming out of the woodwork. So I'm excited to see how these two face off because they do play quite a lot in friendlies and on net play, but it is a different environment when you are in bracket playing for first seed. So,
all right, looks like we're gonna hop right into it.
So we haven't. Okay, he's going Fox. You got your wish.
Oh, this is gonna be juicy. This is gonna be fun.
A notoriously 90-10 matchup, but. I mean, the speed that Ike has, and he can get a great punish game on Ike. He can shine spike him off stage, and it actually does do quite a bit if you catch him without walls. And you can also wave shine him relatively well. He's heavy enough to be comboed consistently. So Fox can do quite a lot in this matchup as long as you don't get grabbed. That is the scary part. Ike's punish game off a grab or an up tilt is so scary in this matchup.
Yeah, it's your traditional. If Fox gets grabbed by a sortie, they're going for a ride. It's just like with everyone else. Now the neutral is the part that's a little bit different from the other spacey sortie matchups. Here, Ike has a little bit of a harder time compared to the rest of them, but I mean, quick draw is you could write an essay on quick draw and what it can offer. So we'll see how it goes.
Quick draw's ability to threaten people who would otherwise dash dance camp Ike is so huge for him as a character. So we're already seeing. I mean, Twisty got a great combo, but Stango was doing work and then put himself off stage and is now probably dead. Stango kind of rolled his eyes a little bit. You know, he knew he threw that one. He threw Envy a boat on that one. So just got to clean it up a little bit. But so far, his punish game has looked otherwise quite clean. He just needs a shine or a grab to get this kill now. Ideally, probably not a grab, I guess, because FBI off for okay. But
normally we see the spacey neutral dynamic we see for Envy is against Wolf. So
Yes.
this is definitely a little wrinkle in that. It's definitely a different pace.
Yeah, amazing
Fox-
SDR on that shine, by the way. Um, but yeah, no, totally. I mean, Envy is really good at fighting wolves, like we talked about, and he's used to kind of having to maneuver around a character that is coming in with these lasers and having to through them with power shields. And this time he's just facing off against raw speed in Fox, and that is a very different type of neutral. So I'm excited to see. So far, he's done a great job of threatening with quick draw and kind of doing his best to not commit to options the way that he would against Wolf. But that is a very difficult playstyle to maintain as a Sortie against a spacey like Stango.
Yeah.
Great combo. And then yeah, angled down to catch the ledge there, and Stango was a little bit high, so it is going to work.
Yeah, I almost want to say he almost faked him out a little bit. It looked like he was going to go for ledge first, and then he just went on stage and did that F tilt. So
yeah. Great corner play there from Envy. He called him out like 3 times. He just called his corner option every single time, and he's ready with a grab or a forward tilt.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, good up there from Stango to keep it even, but this is a scary spot for him right now. Any combo hit is probably death at this point. Grab is 100% death. Side B attack could lead into something. Ike is a lot at this percent in this matchup.
Anything but that, actually.
He got the wrong hit in there and was high with it, but still, Stango, this is looking really clean.
Yeah, this can actually be an edge guard.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
I thought he was going to get caught by the flames. A really good refresh there from Stango, doing it early enough that there's no risk of Envy getting saved by that. And we are down to last stock, even percent on this game 1, and Envy immediately the grab.
Ooh, amazing walk back there, just the presence of mind. He was like, all right, I can cover everything. Let me just walk back real quick, and then whatever doesn't get covered, I'll quick draw, grab him.
Yeah, exactly. It was not only did it cover a lot of stuff, but it also creates this mental mix-up where you're Stango and you're trying to figure out why is he going over there. Kind of adds that extra mental pressure. Stango got him off stage again. This game is so even. The shine spike is not going to do it. There is that little lip that Envy can wall jump off of. But yeah, that up smash would maybe have done it. Yep, up throw up air is going to be it.
So something I want to point out there is you should always be getting those grabs on the drill. It feels like you can't do anything. It feels like you're going to get shined, but that drill is your opportunity. And even though that shield is whittling down and you want to do your best and roll away, always grab. That's good. That's top player mentality right there. Envy knew what was going on.
Well, don't grab if you play Ivy, but if you play Ike, grab. Yeah, that drill, one of the big differences from Melee is the existence of double shine SPI, double stick SPI, which makes it much easier to get out of the drill. Up throw down smash did 30%. I don't know if I like that option, but it was definitely a smart one.
Custom combos.
Oh,
good counter.
Nothing else he had there was going to be fast enough, and Ike counter, unlike Marth, does scale with the damage that it does, which means that it can be pretty strong if you counter the right moves.
Something you actually just saw there. You saw that that shielding the first hit and then actually managing to snag the ledge before he comes down. That's actually something I don't really see put to use too often, but it's really useful against edge guarding Ike.
It's really good, yeah. Nice, you just waited for the air dodge. This is death, yeah. We talked about it a little bit earlier when we saw Envy versus Twisty. We got that very strong second hit up there once or twice, but on Warrior, you can't really true combo it. It's kind of a lead. In this matchup, you can absolutely true combo into it, as we've been seeing. So we're going to see a lot more of that this set, and Fox is going to die extremely early to it.
Back hit in there, doesn't get anything from it. He was crouch canceling or ASDI down.
I love that F tilt. Oh, yeah. Stango, good presence in mind there to go to stage. He could have died there had he just dipped a little lower for the edge.
Seeing a lot of hit and run from Fox. This is how you play this matchup.
Yeah, he's playing it very well right now. It's nice and clean. You never want to overextend because Envy's punish game is so scary. You take the couple hits you can get, and then you reset to neutral, and you do it again. If you can get more, great. Really good mix up there. Stango was definitely ready for the up air, DIing hard out, and he caught him with a reverse back air, which was just as strong as normal back air, but also sends it the janky angle you're never ready for. Oh, he gets nothing off the up throw, but he does catch him rolling in with that up tilt.
Fox can't wake up.
Yeah.
Can't. Yeah, jeez.
And yeah, he just goes straight horizontal, doesn't quite get the angle, and Envy doesn't save him with that nair. Stango right now at a disadvantage in this game too. He gets the shine spike, but Ike kind of just teleports through the stage as long as he's horizontally close enough to be able to get the ledge afterwards.
Alright, Stango's in shambles right now. It's looking rough. He
needs the kill, and it feels like right now, for the first time since he's been on stream, it feels like he's fishing a little bit. He's getting a little bit impatient because he knows he needs to find these openings quickly before Envy puts on even more damage. But he's done a great job, and now it's back to even, and he's just in Envy's face. So now it feels like he's found his rhythm again. For a little bit there, it did feel like he had lost his rhythm. But now it's Envy who needs to find his opening quickly, and that single hit drill, no opportunity for SDI whatsoever from Envy there.
Oh, really beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, we're gonna ban FD, that's the obvious one, and then you ban Green Hill or Wario Land. Pick your poison here.
Doesn't look like it. Wow, okay.
Interesting.
He's got that
I wonder what the logic is.
This is in the mind of Stango. I don't know. It's levels to that I can't even fathom.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Or in the mind of Envy. Sorry.
I assume that this is character first, because I was gonna say maybe he left Green Hill and then he could go Zero Suit, but I don't know if it's character stage first.
You gotta pick that character.
Yeah, but interesting. Okay, so Envy's not taking it. He's gonna go to Dreamland. Interesting. Like we were saying, I mean, these two do play quite a lot, and they probably have their own meta outside of what you would expect for this matchup. So they might have figured something out that isn't visible. Oh my god. Okay, he doesn't get the kill there, but crazy start to this game from Stango.
A little bit more percent.
Like 2.
Yeah. A little bit more percent using trouble there from that shine.
A minute ago, this dude looked lost. And now he's just out here doing this. So Envy is taking center stage. He's kind of starting to get his punishes warmed up, but this is a rough start to come back from. Because even on Dreamland, he is at 4%. But that F tilt's gonna do it. Great pickup there from Envy.
He's been putting really good use to that F tilt. Like in the corner, whenever okay, so I'm not gonna get a huge combo off this, or I could try and go for like a grab or something off this nair, but instead I'm just gonna go for this F tilt and just put you off stage and do what a Sortie does to the fast faller off stage.
Yeah, it just puts people in disadvantage, and it's so good at stuffing approaches. If you are anywhere near Ike when he forward tilts, you are going to get clipped by it, and then it'll put you in knockdown or off stage. So, Envy doing a great job of using that as a spacing tool. Oh, good slide off there from Stango. Ike can guaranteed tech chase on those platforms. He's up there, covers the whole thing, but as we saw, slide off is the perfect counterplay to that. Stango's using it really well. I mean, Stango's got all the momentum in the world. Envy is kind of getting these straight hits, but that back is not good yet. Oh! The edge of that sword.
Crazy.
Great stuff. All he needed to do was clip him, and he did that.
Man, these guys, this matchup is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, what a set to be ending day 1 of the AFL on. Such a good set. I'm hoping we go to get 5 there, but for the time being, Stango's looking to go up 2-1. He's got a 2-1 to stock lead right now. Let's translate that into this game win. Oh, we've seen. Okay, I was thinking we haven't seen a lot of. Oh my god, yeah. And you can see Envy in the player cam. He's like, man, I just got hit by that. that was a hard outplay from Stango.
Yeah.
So he has dropped his first game of the AFL, but that
Goes
might.
back.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, clearly these two have their own meta that they've kind of figured out. I am surprised to see that the pick is Dreamland and not Greenhill, given what was left unbanned, but clearly there's a logic to it. And
At this point, we might get a little emotions too. I mean, you saw that player cam. He hopped into it right away.
This might be a salty run, absolutely. I think game 3 it was a calculated decision. I think some component of it is for this run back was probably, I can't believe that just happened. I want to win. I want to win on my counter pick and go on here again. And it's not going poorly. It didn't go terribly last game.
Right.
It's just it feels as if Dreamland gives a lot of room for Stango to run around and do his thing. And it also gives monstrously large blast zone, which means that Ike won't be killing early if he can't get those strong hits to just send him far enough that he can't fire Fox back.
Oh, Envy a little shook right now. You're doing good, man.
Yeah.
You can't hear me, but you're doing good.
But, yeah, hopefully, still mentally in it.
Wow.
Oh my god, that pick up
in
on
the vortex.
Yeah. I thought there was, he gets the nair. Yeah, great sweet spot. That's going to be up throw up air though, and that is going to do it even on Dreamland. So
What was he at pre-throw? He died at 101.
Yeah, he died at like 90. Ike is one of the characters that can absolutely murder spaces off the grab. I love that down smash. That was so good. And then he got the reverse back air, which is unfortunate because it might have killed if he didn't reverse. But either way, he is on track to take another stock without getting hit.
My man's mad, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, that emotion we talked about, we're seeing it right now, and it's working. But Stango is still calm, he's still collected, he's trying to slow this game down. But first he needs to survive. He's been in the corner for the last 30 seconds, and this is his first chance to really put some hurt on Envy. Okay, this is
nice.
Time spike. Back air. And then
no!
And again, This is the first time we've seen a reaction from Stango this time. A little bit of frustration coming out as he can't quite close out that stock. Yeah, we're going to see. He's got a mountain to climb this game. With the punish game that Envy has been displaying, but at the same time, he's been doing so much work on these offstage edge guards that this is absolutely still doable, even if it's unlikely that he gets into 120 and kills him with up smash twice.
Man, going off stage as Ike in this matchup has been more rough than I would think it would be. Stango has shown that he knows how to exploit that recovery.
Yeah, he's so good at it, and he is. I mean, we were talking like this was over. He was down 3 stocks to 1, and he's taken like 15% since then. And Envy is kind of just struggling to chase him down. We see him doing these side Bs now, and they got him the opening.
Finally got.
He's up before it. This is Stango's chance. He has to hit this recovery.
How do you get around the nair?
Yeah.
How?
Okay. So this is game 5. The winner of this is first seed for the entire All Fundies League. Stango does not want to drop a set here. This would be a pretty sizable upset. I think Envy was like the 3rd or 4th seed in this pool. Stango was the 1st seed of the whole thing. So he definitely was the favorite going into the set. And now we see Stango going to Warrior Land. Interesting. It does mean that there are going to be those situations where things like forward tilt or forward extend so far that you can't recover, because if you're not dead, you can usually recover with Firefox on this stage. But at the same time, you are just going to die to Ike moves at like 50. So this is a gamble of a pick for Stango. And let's see what we can do with it. Obviously, Fox also does have that kill power.
Yeah, this is definitely a stage where the up smash is a lot bigger of a threat from Fox. And
yeah,
you didn't
get it out there too.
Right.
Yeah, they.
You didn't see the up throw up air last game. Keep in mind that like Ike can't be up throw up aired by Fox just because he's a little heavy. but getting an up throw back air or something a little safer just to take up that space is actually a way bigger threat because you might just die for it.
Yeah. And, I mean, with such a small stage, it's going to be very easy for Stango to put Envy off stage, which is where he's been doing the most work so far. So, this pick is working out better than I would have expected. He is not going to take the stock. He's up a clean 97 right now. And Envy has yet to even find a hit so far.
I actually really like this pick. You know, against Marth or like Roy or something like that, you have a little bit quicker buttons from the swords. It's just not quicker as much as maybe less committal, you know?
Yeah.
Throwing up that up tilt, throwing up that down tilt, again, as those players or those characters is way, way, way less of a commitment than trying to take space on this small stage.
Oh my god. Yeah. Envy dropping that. Okay, he didn't take too much damage for it. I was gonna say him dropping the ledge there could have been such a consequential moment in the set. But we're back to dead even. Great mash out from Stango, but he's still in the corner. He needs to get down around these up tilts.
Oh,
what? Another one. He got the wall jump. He's back. Okay, and that is Stango for the Envy hasn't even done it this set. That was the first time he did that side B on stage, and Stango was already ready for it and respecting it. This guy is ready for the Ike Fox matchup.
You can't use side B as well on this stage. It's so small where you can't really back up and use it as safely as you would on someplace like Brooklyn.
Yeah, great pick up there from Envy, just chasing him from side to side, and Stango follows him off stage. We are at Game 5, last stock even. Oh my god, this could be it. Okay, not quite.
Ah, what are you doing?
Okay. Oh my god, Stango has all momentum right now. Envy doesn't get anything off the grab.
Roll shine. Gets him so much.
Yeah. And I mean, Stango is just looking so collected right now. But all it takes is one opening. Okay, great job holding shield there. Not it yet. Yeah, he lets him back. Oh, he gets forward tilted. He gets forward tilted. Envy wins Pool 1 with a 3-0 record. And also, one of the most Stango's dropped so far, period, in the last year.
Yeah, that's how you end it, dude. That's crazy.
What a set to end on.
Rare footage of Stango losing, like you said. Rare footage.
Yeah. Truly, what a treat of a set. That was fantastic. So, this is the end of the pool, so I'm just going to quickly read off the standings. Envy makes it out into the first pool as the only player with a 3-0 record. The three players that will make it out with him with a 2-1 record are Stango, Twisty, and Switch. And then we have Aspastic, Frozen, Grizzly, and Kumatora, all with 1 and 2 records, are going to be playing in the lower bracket, which is also going to be aired in a few weeks. So we've got a ton more sets coming up with all of these great players. But God, what a way to start the All Fundies League. This was such a phenomenal set of matches for us to have a chance to watch and commentate.
Yeah, as you can tell, that was just Pool A. We got a whole other pool with equally stacked players, equally exciting matches. So we'll likely see something equally as intense to end it off next week or 2 weeks from now. Sorry, but please tune in, guys. We're excited to have you. Excited to see you again, and tell your friends because we got a lot more coming.
Yeah, if you're interested in seeing more Hype PM, the All Fundies League will be broadcasting again in 2 weeks on this channel and on the Clash Tournaments channel, which also had all the other sets for today. And next weekend, we have some great events on the West Coast. Like we talked about, we have Salty Splatoon, and then we have the No Fundies League, the complete opposite of this event, which is going to be aired on twitch.tv/SoCalPM. So if you want PM in 2021, there is no shortage of places to find it. But thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to commentate the first event of the All Fundies League.
Yeah, it's been fun, guys. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.